all of my motivators family. How are you doing? Welcome into today's podcast and discussion. I decided to just do a little bit of a pop-up. I hope everybody's doing well. If you could please hit the like on coming in, I'd really appreciate it. I wanted to say this is not going to be a long conversation. It's not going to be a long discussion, but I just wanted to get this thought out of my head and out into the atmosphere. Why is it that people listen to people who are unqualified? Why do people do that? Well, before I get into all of that, hey everybody, it's Marlene of Marlene Motivates, your channel for motivation, inspiration, positivity, and mindset shifting. Today on the podcast, I wanted to talk about weak-minded people, low vibrational people, narcissistic people, people who are jealous and controlling. I wanted to say, why is it that we are allowing people to control us? Why is it that we allow people to get to us, get us down, take us down a path or a road? We allow people to make us act negatively. Why do we allow people to negatively impact you? I'm starting a poll here. And I just started the poll. Okay, please take the poll. I wanted to say this. Why do we allow people to negatively impact us? Why do we allow people to have so much power and control over us? Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to make a decision about what we listen to, what we believe, but we allow people to get inside of our heads, inside of our hearts, and get our power, get our control, change our focus, get us upside down and sideways when the majority of the things that they're saying is not true. Why do we allow people that don't know us, the people who are unqualified? Let's start there. Why do we let people who are unqualified? What are some definitions of people who are unqualified? Well, people who are not going to pay your bills, people who don't know about your backstory, people who don't know what you're going through, and they don't care. These are people who are unqualified. Why are you allowing somebody who is not even qualified to know your business, will never support you, has never shown that they care? Why are you allowing them to get your power? This is something that I wanted to talk about today, Motivators family. We cannot let people who don't know us, people who don't support us, people who don't care, they've already shown that they don't care. Most of the time they hate you, they're jealous of you, there's a big disdain, but yet you give them so much of your energy. Why are you listening to what they're saying? Because most of the time, the people who are unqualified, they always have some banter. They always have some storyline, some way of thinking what you should do and what you should be. And because of that's what they want or it's what worked for them, it's supposed to be what worked for you. Everybody is different. Every single person is different and every single person goes through different things. But we cannot allow people to be qualified. That's why we get upset sometimes, because we already know they're not qualified. So why are you giving them your time? Why are you giving them your energy? Why are you giving them your focus, your time, your money? Why? It's just not worth it. We have to stop listening to unqualified people. And those unqualified people, I hate to say it, could be our own relatives. That's the main category of people who are unqualified. Just because a person can be your blood relative, it doesn't mean that they're qualified to know what's best for you. It doesn't mean that they're going to be supportive, understanding, compassionate, give you a nudge and a push in the direction to help you to follow your dreams. We can't continue to allow people who are unsupportive, uncaring, negative, dark, evil, and give them our power. Why are you listening to them? Why are you allowing them to upset you? We have to stop that. We have to stop allowing other people, and especially people on social media. I've seen so many things. I've been here and there on videos and looking at people's live streams, and it's really interesting how on social media so much people have so much to say, and they could be a troll, they're a keyboard warrior. It's easy for people to type on their computer, on their phones, on their tablets, whatever devices, and say things. A lot of people feel qualified to tell you how to run your life. Isn't that true? We know so many. I know that my motivators family, we all know people like that. They feel that they're qualified to tell you how to run your life. They feel that they're qualified to tell you how to run your business, how you should look, talk, dress, what relationships you should be in, all of those things. But those people aren't going to be supportive of you. They're not going to be supportive of your dreams. So stop qualifying people who are unqualified. They never will be in that position to be there for you. They will never be in a position to be intellectual. Because I'll say something, that there's a lot of people who are educated, but when it comes to having real life skills and knowing what to do and how to perform, they may be educated, but it doesn't mean that they have the skills to be able to do what they need to do. They don't have the life skills. So we can't just listen to people just because they are educated. Educated doesn't make you qualified to know what to do with another person's life. To each his or her own. We each have to know ourselves. We each have to know our focus. What is our physical, emotional, mental. We have to know our purpose in this life. And that's the thing. Most of us, we get outside of our purpose, right? I know I have many times. I get outside of my purpose trying to make other people happy. I get outside of my purpose trying to be supportive and being kind to other people, but leaving my dreams on the back burner, leaving my hopes, leaving my everything that I want and desire, just trying to make others happy. And it never works out. You, at the end of the day, make yourself miserable. And I want to say that to all of my motivators family. Stop making yourself miserable trying to make somebody else feel good. We do it a lot. Maybe it's for your children, maybe your relative, a job. But let's get into talking about weak-minded people. Do you know some people who are weak-minded? The very jealous, the angry, manipulative, controlling, dark, evil people that they want to control you so badly. And they get so upset when they cannot control you, when they cannot use you, when you don't fall for their ploys and their games, right? They get so upset and angry. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? Welcome. Hey, James. Appreciate y'all being here. Happy Sunday to everybody who's in the chat. If you have not already, please hit the like. I'd really appreciate it. I think that it's so important for us to not fall for the games, the old okey doke. When we see somebody is weak-minded, when we see somebody is a controlling person or a using person, this is where you have to know, I deserve better than this, or why am I listening to this, because this is not positive, this is not going to elevate me, this isn't going to help me. When we allow ourselves to be around weak-minded people who like to gossip about others, who like to be controlling, who like to laugh and at other people's expense, we have to be very careful about surrounding ourselves with that sort of negative energy, because when you hang around weak-minded people, evil people, controlling people, jealous people, you become what you associate with. So with all of that being said, going into a new week, going into a new month really soon, we have to learn to cut ties with people who are our takers, our users, are weak-minded, who are controlling, because you'll never get to be and have the things that you want in your life when you have weak-minded, negative, and unqualified people. We can never get into our purpose and our focus in this life if we don't stop hanging around those sort of people, whether it's on the internet, whether it's real life, whether it's in your family, whether it's who you're choosing to be with in a romantic relationship, is who you choose to be friends with. We have to be very careful about who we select to have in our life, whether it's the internet or whatever, because we become the energy we surround ourselves by. So if you are around somebody who has very dark energy, someone very negative, someone very controlling, they're only going to control the situation and manipulate the situation so that you can do what they want to do. See, we can be such a kind person, a loving person, an open person, that we're always open to help other people. But at a certain point, helping other people and assisting people, when do we help and assist ourselves? When do you support your mental health? When do you get on board with your goals and your plans and your personal life? You could be kind and supportive and doing all of these things. You can be wearing yourself out, supporting your relatives, supporting your friends, supporting your romantic partner. You're just supporting the nicest person. But you're not on board with your purpose and your plans with your life because you're too busy helping others to be able to put on your own oxygen mask. I say it all the time. Stop putting on others' oxygen mask before you put on your own. We have to save, protect, nurture, and encourage our own self. And a lot of times, that's the reason why we feel so weak, like our energy is drained, because you're so supportive, you're so nice, and you're so kind. There's limits to kindness. We have to realize that not everybody we can be kind to. Not everybody we can be supportive of. Not everybody we can show compassion, because they're going to run you into the ground. They want, if you do one thing, they want you to do 4 things, and then it turns into 10 things and more and more. You can never do enough for certain individuals. The more you do is the more they want. And there's never a thank you. It's always like with an attitude. Now, I didn't ask you to do it, and you don't have to do it. So this is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation and to let you all know. Stop listening to people who are rude, you know? I hope you are learning to cut off people who take advantage of you, people who treat you like trash, the ones that never show up for you and support you. Ask, like, how are you doing? Can I help you? Is there something that I can do for you? The majority of people who are users and controllers, manipulative, and all of those things, they're never going to ask you if you need help, because they don't want to help you. They only are there for you to help them. And that's why they're weak-minded. That's why they're low vibrational. It's only about for their benefit. And we have to be very careful of not letting people into our head. Hey, PMC, how are you doing? Welcome. We have to be very careful about what we allow into our minds, what we allow into our hearts, because I say this all the time, everybody. What we think about is what we do, and what we do is what we become. So if you find that you're in this space in your life where you're stagnant, you're stuck, you're not elevating, you're not growing, there's no peace in your life, it may be the people that you have in your life. You have to go about evaluating sometimes. I even go through in a seasonal cycle of looking through my phone. Who am I talking to? Who am I giving support? Is it likewise? Am I being supported back? Am I checked on? Am I cared for? Not all the time, not a tit for tat, because it just can't be that way in this life. But for the most part, are they supportive and encouraging of you like you are of them? And if you find that it's on the other side, it's time for us to do an evaluation. It's time for us to think, like, why am I doing all of these good things? Why am I pouring into an empty cup? Because if they're empty, if they're always at zero, and you're the one that has to always be supportive and pour into them, there's no way they're ever going to be able to pour into and support you. Hey, realists, how are you doing? Welcome. Yes, Nate, people with selfish intentions will always come up short of the glory. They will always come up short. And that's why we have to say, be aware. Be aware, motivators family. Pay attention. Pay attention to how you feel when you're around certain individuals. Do they make you feel good? Or do they give you the backhanded compliment? Like they'll start off by saying something nice, and then next thing they're laughing at you. You're the brunt of a joke. Or they're asking you for money or your time or this or that. It's never just they can do something nice or kind for you. It's always with a stipulation. There's always, I'll do this, but, and if, and can you, and help me. It's always something that they're seeking. They're not just there for you just because they want to be there for you because of the type of human being that you are. Or they just want to support you just because they care for you and love you, and because you're a great individual and they like your energy and the peace that you possess. No. When people find out that they can run all over you and use you, they will continue to do that until you cut them off. Now, please learn the lesson from me, because I did that for a very long time. I thought I was being such a good person. I'm being such a good woman. I'm being such a good friend. I'm being such a good person in a relationship because I'm so kind and I'm so good. But no, all you're doing is letting yourself be a doormat, to be used, to be run over, to be manipulated. So we have to pay attention to our own self as well. Am I treating myself well? Remember, at the end of the day, we have to be our own best friend. And we have to check on ourselves. Am I treating myself with respect? Am I being compassionate and kind to myself? Am I loving on myself? Am I using my talents and my gifts? Or am I putting my talents and my gifts and my life on hold to help other people? Those are questions that only we can answer. You have to know yourself. You have to know what position you are in. And sometimes it's because we don't have enough confidence. We don't have enough belief in ourselves to say no. We're always the ones that we want to say yes all the time. We always want to do good to others. And while, don't get me wrong, everybody, I love to give back and help and support others, but it can't be at your own expense. It can't be because all you ever do is help, but you are never helped. That's not good. That's when we get drained and we feel weak and we feel so down, and it starts to affect our mental health. It will even affect you financially, because if you're a person that never says no, there are times it's okay, motivators, to say, I can't do it. I can't afford it. This is not within my budget because there's other things that I'm trying to do. We have to learn that. You have to be your own friend first. You have to be your own personal advocate. If nobody is going to support you, it should be yourself. Sometimes you have those seasons in your life where you just aren't going to have people rocking with you and supporting you. There's certain times in your life where you have to walk this road alone, because this is your time for you to learn about yourself, how strong you are, how courageous you are, how how much of a how courageous and powerful you are. And a lot of times we are stronger than we believe. We think we're not that strong. We think we'll never get through certain situations and we can't do it without certain people. But trust me, those same people who we think we can't live without, they're the same people that we need to cut off in order for our energy to go up, for our power to go up, for money to be in our bank account, for us to be able to fulfill our goals and our dreams. And especially on social media, we have to be careful with who we're talking to and listening to and supporting, because everybody don't have your back. People a lot of times have your back as long as you and them are on the same level. But anytime you start doing better, anytime you start elevating, anytime you start not doing the things that you used to do, say for example, you used to be out in the streets, you used to be, laughing, rah rah rah, wanting to fight, you were about that life. But when you start shifting and maturing, you're on a different wavelength, you're on a different frequency that you used to be. When you start vibrating higher, you don't want the same things that you used to want. Now you want better. Now you're thinking and planning. You're on that positive. You're more reflective. You're thinking about situations from the beginning to the end and not just being spontaneous in the moment and just doing things and then later on you're living with regret. See, we have to want better to be able to do better. Yes, realists, sometimes they don't have it in them to be courteous, though. Yeah, some people don't have it in them to be courteous, but that's when we have to understand, we have to see, we have to look at people's actions, people's energy. How do they make you feel when you're around them? Do you feel like a darkness? Do you feel weak and drained around them? We have to pay attention to how people make us feel. We can't deny energy, and energy can never be hidden. It's always there. Even when you don't know exactly what that person is doing, we always know when, like, I don't know about this person. When you get that inclination on your inside, it's a warning to us to protect us. So we have to pay attention to those things. Listen to how you feel. Yes, self-love and self-reliance goes a long way. Hi, Tamika. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Ooh, that sounds good, Nate. That sounds like a good meal. Yes, Nate. I'm just, this is just on my mind, and I just had to drop this on you all before I get into some family vibes in a little bit. Realist says, how can a person continue to give what they aren't receiving back and never did? See, but sometimes you will be in that zone. I know I've done it many times where I'm just so used to, after so many years, you're giving, you're nice, you're kind, you're supportive, until one day you wake up and like, what am I doing? Like, really? Well, why am I always the supporter? Why am I always the helper? Why am I never supported and never helped? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, and you got to pay attention. Yes, Nate, people need to unplug from social media and focus on reality. And there's a lot of people who believe that social media is their entire life. They have nothing outside of social media. That is their life. So all they are is about the starting mess, being messy, doing evil things, doxing people, making fun of other people. It's that, for me, that's a sad existence. I really do feel sorry for people like that. But, we're not turning that into talking anything negatively. We're going to say on this positive elevation, positive frequency. See, I want to bring awareness and let you all know that we don't have to take everything that people give us. And because a person is going down a road and you can see they're about to crash and burn, you know it's not going to end well. You don't have to stay around to the end. You get out, leave, go somewhere else. Don't listen, you know? Do not pass go. Those are things that we have to learn. Yeah. When we see the person start doing their own thing, it can cause envy. A lot of people don't like it when you start walking to the beat of your own drum, when you start paying attention to, how you feel and your purpose and knowing what you should do. See, sometimes it's nothing to do with you hate people or you're not supportive and you don't care about them or anything like that. It has nothing to do with other people. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't get it. Sometimes you're just on that vibe of you're elevating spiritually. You're learning, you're maturing, that you just aren't about that negativity anymore. You're trying to do something better. You're trying to be a role model. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're growing. You're experiencing personal growth. You don't want to be about that silliness, and no, you're not about that anymore. And it has nothing to do with other people. Some people don't get that. They believe everything that you do is about them. Oh, they're not around me because they're jealous of me. Nobody's jealous of you. Nobody's even paying attention. See, sometimes when you're so focused on yourself, you're in that season of healing and fixing yourself, vibrating higher, being a better human being, being a better woman or being a better man, that you just don't have time to pay attention to other people, because you're in your planning phase, in your personal growth and being at peace and being happy and living your life. Being in your present moment instead of being in the past, complaining about what was instead of stepping into what is. Stepping into what is a very powerful place to be. Yes, energy transference. Be mindful of who you exchange energy with. Yes, PMC. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. Yeah, the energy. We definitely have to pay attention to energy. Yeah, countless hours on social means missing out on seizing many of life's other opportunities, as well as killing attention spans. Yeah, we have to really pay attention to how much time, how much energy we're wasting on an app when you could be doing something profound with your life. You could be working on whatever your goal and your business, or spending time, special moments with certain individuals that you care about and love. So I'm just on this app or any other app, but to not do it with the sacrificing your time with the people who you care about. It's all about balance, everybody. That's what I say. It's all about balance in this life, learning to balance your time, learning what is important. And there's some people who are just not worth it. It's not even worth it responding to and telling them how you feel about them. That's a waste, because it's not gonna get anywhere. Sometimes when people are in that zone of being angry and jealous and controlling and manipulative, that's all you're gonna get, because they're in the space of being evil and dark and it being immature. Until somebody is in a space where they can receive something well and be accountable and say, yeah, I take ownership. I did do that and I'm sorry. Until a person can learn how to grow and to take ownership for what they do wrong, you cannot have certain individuals in your life because they are weak-minded. And don't even get me started on the people who are unqualified. How many people on social media, they feel that they're qualified to know your life. They want to tell you how you should, what color, I'm specifically talking about women. People who come on social media and tell you what lipstick to wear, how to wear your hair, what time you should talk, what time you should go live, what you should talk about in your live, what kind of videos you should make. People want to control every detail of your life just because you are on social media. It's very interesting. It really goes to show the type of person they are. A person who likes to be controlling. They want to tell you exactly what to do and hurry up and do this and hurry up and do that for me. They want to bring about disruption. They want to bring you off the focus of your topic sometimes by talking about something completely different than what you're talking about. That's what a lot of people like to do, because they don't like to see where you're on a good topic, you're on a good subject, you're spreading something positive. They want to come in with some mess, foolishness, silliness to stop your message from coming across. Yes, PMC, if I can't elevate the team, how can I levitate myself? We can't. You're welcome, Jenny. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm just over people and I'm happy about it. That's how it goes, right? Sometimes, yes, I say that all the time, Miss 702. Boundaries. I say it all the time. Boundaries is so important, to set boundaries and to enforce them. Oh, it's all good, PMC. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, they even tell me what I can and cannot eat. It's crazy. A lot of people, it's just a control thing. People love to be controlling. They love to tell you what to do. Okay? Don't let people take your power back. Okay? So let me end this poll here. I asked, did you take your power back? I think this is a very important thing to ask, because I can say honestly, for many, many years, I did not have my power. I allowed other people to control me, whether romantically, in my relatives, with friends, on the job. I can say honestly, I did not have my power. I did not have my control because I didn't know who I was. I didn't love myself enough. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know what I was worth. I didn't know that it was okay to say no to others, to say yes to me. So there's that. And there's my transparency in that moment. There's a lot of people who will say how much they love themselves, how much they support themselves, how much they believe in themselves, how much confidence they have. And then you see how they operate in real life. A lot of people love to say how much they care, how much they love themselves, how much they are their own best friend. But then you look at the decisions that you make, and I say, doubtful. I doubt that. I doubt that. I think that that's something very important. You know, I think it's something very important for us to really and truly pay attention to. We have to really pay attention to what we allow. Okay. PMC says, for motivation, I would just say this: help me help you, and help yourself to helping someone else, including yourself. We can work together to grow. Yeah, that's a good point, PMC. So that's something that's important. I just wanted to come in and to talk about this for a moment and let you all know, really realize who you are. Really realize what you're worth. Really realize what you deserve. And a lot of times we do not give ourselves the the treatment that we deserve. We don't elevate ourselves. We don't support ourselves, our own goals and dreams, because we're on that wavelength of trying to be seen, trying to be popular, trying to be liked. And I'm telling you, I learned from experience that If you're trying to be liked, you will never be happy. It's a fact. And whatever anybody wants to say, they can say what they want to say. But I've experienced it all the years of my life. When you're trying to always make other people happy, it will make you unhappy. I'm the one that has to, I make the qualifications about what I want and what I like and what I need. If it has to be where it has to be your way in order to make you happy, I can't deal with you anymore. Can't have a person who's very controlling or a person that won't, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes I win, or ask you, what would you like to do? Those individuals that it always has to be their way or the highway, I can't deal with them. I can't deal with them. Those are the people that you have to leave alone, okay? Leave the negative energy, leave the controlling people, leave the jealous people alone, because unfortunately, until a person wants to stop being angry, they won't be. And I can tell you that from experience. From experience. Until you want to stop being angry, you won't be. I spent, I can't even tell you, over 10 years of my life, I was in this angry zone. Like I wanted to scream, I wanted to fight, I was angry with everybody, I was jealous of other people. And some of it had to do with that in certain individuals, but some of it didn't. See, you can be stopping your own blessings. You could be stopping your own dreams. You could be stopping your own elevation and opportunities because of you. No, I had to take that hit. I had to take that transparency and that honesty. Sometimes it was me. I was getting in the way of my own dreams. It had nothing to do with nobody else. So that's the reason why sometimes I had to take a break. I had to go silent for a while so that I could heal me and I could fix me and I could support me and I could give my own self a hug and say, you're going to be all right, girl. You're going to be okay. When situations happen to us, and I was so grateful for the live yesterday about talking about traumas. Anybody who missed that, I really encourage you to hit that replay and really listen to it, because it was good. I have to say that, being completely honest, I stayed angry for such a long time. And I was angry, tripping off things that happened to me when I was 7, 8 years old. And it's like, when are you going to heal that? When are you going to heal that? When are you going to stop being angry? When are you going to stop being mad? When are you going to stop letting other people control you? And you got to learn to stop letting people affect you that way. You have to stop letting people take your power away. Just because you can say something to someone, it doesn't mean you should. See, I had to learn who to use my words on. Some people, it's not even worth using my words. Like, you're a waste of my time. It's not even worth saying anything to you. Like, just go away. Just go away. And some people, when they just come around, it just irritates me. As what I saw on one channel, which I won't say, but one channel, the little kids say, you mirritate me. Because when you just mad plus irritated, I love that. Some people mirritate me, for real. Just being around them, it angers me. So I can't be around them. Some people mirritate me. But it's a process of learning yourself, learning what you want, and learning how far you can go. Because sometimes we can go really far in this life. We can go far. We can grow. We can prosper. But it's all about stop letting people who are not doing anything with their life. I want to say this right now. A lot of times, people who aren't doing anything with their life for one reason or the other. Sometimes people aren't doing anything with their life because They just have been through a rough patch and they just can't. Sometimes you get stuck so that you can learn a lesson, so that you can grow from something and not repeat it. But sometimes people get sat down and they don't take the time to sit down and learn. They sit down and they blame, sit down and make excuses, and then they get up and do the same mistakes, have the same reaction. They make no personal growth. They're not elevating, they're not growing. There's no peace, there's no healing. So it's just all of that alone. Yes. Yeah, envy is a whole field trip. It is. I had to honestly learn. I know a lot of people won't say what I'm about to say, but I had to learn to stop being jealous of other people's lives. I had to learn to stop looking at other people and what they have, and being envious of that, like, oh, they got this and they got that, instead of me looking at myself and what I have, what I possess mentally, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, and learning to love, learning to appreciate myself. you know I had to learn that. I had to learn me. I had to learn to celebrate me. I had to learn how important I was. you know I was important and I mattered. And we really don't talk about that much, but I'm all about celebrating myself. And if you have never been in that zone, in that space in your life, you got to learn to give your own self a high five or a pound, a pat on the back, your own self a hug. Sometimes you need to just hug yourself. Stop waiting for other people to hug, or ask for a hug. I need a hug, or I need X, Y, and Z. No, I had to learn as a woman to learn to speak up for the things that I want. I had to learn to go for what I want and stop hesitating, stop waiting for a perfect circumstance or for certain individuals, or thinking that I had to have this situation or I had to have these people to support me. What if you never? I had to learn that for myself. What if I never get the support that I want? What if I never get the reaction? What if I never get that means? Am I just going to sit here and live with regret for the rest of my life? No, you're going to get up and you're going to follow your dreams. You're going to do what you're supposed to do. You're going to heal your own heart, and you're going to do what you need to do, and you're going to stop making excuses. See, that's the difference between people who are mature and the people who are immature. This message is not for the immature. This message is not for the people who aren't going to make any changes. Because I know a lot of people, they love to hear a positive message and talk about things, but then that positive message doesn't do anything for them. And I know for a long time, way before I went through therapy, I used to love to listen to positive messages and read positive things, but it didn't do anything to me. It still had me out there, getting into things, starting mess, being messy, being angry, until I learned to do something. So my question to all my motivators family is, what are you going to do with what you have, with what you possess, intellectually, emotionally, mentally? What are you going to do with your past? Are you going to use it to feed your passion in your life? Are you going to use it to reinvigorate your focus, your passion in this life, what you're supposed to be doing, your reasoning, your purpose for existing? Will you let your past, your hurt, cause you to help others, to be able to help and heal yourself? See, it's until you get that, you can't get what I'm talking about. Until I made a decision to be happy, until I made a decision to change the people that I associate with and the people I listen to, and learn to pay attention to how I feel, pay attention to my focus, pay attention to my goals and what I can do. And I don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. I don't have to be liked, nor do I want to be. I definitely learned that lesson. I don't want to be liked by everybody. I only want people, the reals, the real people, the true people. I don't need the fakes and the phonies and the ones that smile in your face and talk about you behind your back. I don't need those. I've had enough of those people for a whole lifetime. If you're not about the true and the real and the honest and the elevation and the growth, I'd rather people just stay away from me. I'm just being completely honest. If I can't grow in your presence, you have to go, because you're unqualified. You're unqualified for my time and my friendship. Unqualified. So there's a lot of people that you may know of and you may see, and it's nothing wrong with them as a person, but everybody is not for everybody. There's certain people that you are just associates. There's certain people that you see them and things like that, and there's people who actually you can vibe with, you can grow with, you can learn things from them. And I appreciate those people. I really do, really and truly do. So yeah, realist, it can be a process. Yeah, just the vibe alone makes you feel disgusting. And there's certain individuals that just how they act, how they treat other people. I've seen people how they treat their own relatives. It's disgusting. But then they get on social media and act like they're such a nice person, and they're disgusting in real life. I rather a person just be real all the time. Just be yourself. If you're about that and you just be you. Don't try to pretend and try to be you're something that you're not. Just be yourself. That's all I ask. That's all I ask over here in real life. I always say the person that you hear online, the person you see online is the same person I'm going to be in my day-to-day, because I don't change. I'm just me. I'm healed. I'm strong. I'm courageous. And I believe in myself. And I hope that for anybody who watches my content, listens to my content, I hope my content helps you to think, to grow, and to elevate. Work on yourself. I always want to push out, believe in yourself. Don't give into the fears. Don't listen to other people. Don't wait for a perfect circumstance. You can do anything that you want to do. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your circumstance. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter how much people support you. If there's something you want to do in this life, go for it. You don't want to be older when you can't actually do anything. For me, I'm a person, I can't wait to be older so that I can sit and meditate on how wonderful my life was. I can't wait till I get older and I can give my experiences to younger people about when I was a certain way and how I shifted my life and my energy and my mindset and became happier. A lot of people don't understand that being happy is a choice. Being controlled is a choice. You have to stop allowing people to control you and take your control and your power back. Take your peace back. You don't have to do things to please other people. We just got to walk away from certain individuals. You have to walk away from certain people, certain negativity, and just be yourself. Remember that is always enough. Know that you're on enough. Accept yourself and receive yourself for who you are and for what you bring to the table. I'm always going to talk about self-worth, positivity, and motivation. So I wanted to say that to you all. Don't listen to the unqualified people, because they will never be qualified, especially the people who are we know them, people who have some mental illness. There's a lot of people who are not operating on all cylinders. The elevator does not go to the top floor, or they're very jealous or controlling, the weak-minded people, or the evil people who will do things to harm, bring physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual harm to people. And they know what they're doing is intentional. Those are the very dangerous people. Stay away from people. When you feel some way about a person, like you feel like something is not right, don't follow, but listen to that gut instinct. Listen to how you feel. Listen to that energy, okay? Don't want to have regret later. I know there's a few decisions I made in my life that I wish I would have never made. I'm being completely honest. I wish I would have actually listened to myself, but sometimes, you want to be right. You don't want to listen to other people. You feel that they don't know me. When you want to do this and you want to do what you want, you don't want to check your ego. See, humility is a very, very important thing to have. Sometimes when someone tells you something and you can feel it, but you just don't want to be humble, listen anyways. Especially if you already have that feeling and something already isn't right. It's not about making other people like, oh, I don't want to make them seem right. Just humble yourself. You'll save yourself a lot of emotional, mental, spiritual, financial pain. We hurt ourselves, we harm ourselves, we put ourselves into bad situations. And sometimes one decision that we make can ruin our life. One bad decision, one bad relationship, one angry outburst. You could be incarcerated for the rest of your life. You could be unalived. You could lose all your life savings. You could mess up everything, all the hard work you put in, all your education, and one bad, angry decision, and you're ruined. So I'm just saying, be mindful, motivators. Be mindful, and don't let society and other people and trying to be popular, chasing clout, trying to be like other people. I was just in a live stream a little while ago, and I'm just like, wow, there's nothing like learning to love yourself. There's nothing like it. There's so much people on social media, in our real life, people that we know of, and they're so unhappy because they feel that they should look a certain way. They feel they should be like other people and look like other people. It's nothing like learning to love yourself, learning to love the skin that you're in. And as we get older, yeah, you're going to change. You're going to put on some weight. There's going to be some differences in you, but learning to change what you can change and learning to accept and receive what you can't. For me, there's nothing like the peace I have with, yeah, I'm getting older, but I like myself. I think that's probably why some people get crazy and wild. It's because they're getting older, but they don't like themselves. And I'm happy that I healed when I healed. Yeah, I'm getting older, but I like myself better now. I can say, yep, I'm getting older. Oh, I see a wrinkle. I put on a few pounds, but that's okay. It's all good because I love myself. And if you want to, then you take off the weight, or you do what you need to do. But learning to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I like me. I love me. I think that's important. Yeah, social media is a magnet for toxicity. Yes, it is, realist, isn't it? Unfortunately, right? Oh, hey, Leticia, how are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, I think that's something that is something really important. Learning, to love yourself. I don't think there's nothing in the world like it. And I feel so sad for the people who don't know how to love themselves. And I can say that coming from that space. I spent many, many years of my life, from my childhood to my early 20s, and I never liked myself. I wanted to look like other people. I wanted to talk like other people, dress like other people, because I didn't feel I was special. I definitely didn't think I was good looking. I thought I was ugly because other people said I was ugly, but all I was different. I've always talked different. I've always moved to the beat of my own drum, but I didn't understand when I was doing that is I was participating in self-expression. I was expressing myself. I always dressed different when I was in school. I always talked different. I was always about me and just being me because that's the type of girl my parents raised for me to be myself. But, I think everybody wants to be accepted, but we have to learn that when we're not accepted, okay, then go elsewhere. Go where you are accepted and don't worry about the people who don't accept you. Forget about them. They're the ones that are missing out. Okay? They're the one missing out on a wonderful person. That's what a lot of people don't understand. But it's the ones that are angry and jealous and controlling and manipulative. They don't like to see you win. Isn't that sad? Isn't it sad when you see grown people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, sometimes older than that, 60s, 70s, and they're talking about other people and how they dress and how they look and what they choose to do with their life? Like, go and handle your own business. Why are you worried about what other people are doing, what relationships they have, or what's going on in their pocketbook? Go and mind your own. That's something I had to learn for myself too. I had to learn to mind my business, not me looking at other people. I'm talking about myself. Like, how is my retirement looking? How is my health? When's the last time I visited my doctor? And go for a walk and do the things that bring me peace and joy. That's something I had to learn. Stop worrying about others and look inward. Look inside yourself for your peace. Look inside yourself for your joy. And stop looking to things and people and situations. Because there's never going to be a perfect situation. I had to learn to make my situation happy. Learn to make my mind think a certain way. Instead of thinking negatively, switch that around and make it positive. All of those things, learn to make yourself happy. Boy, I tell you, it's a whole elevation in your personal growth when you learn to make yourself happy. Learning that I had a choice to make every day. I had to learn I can make a choice to love me. I can make a choice to walk away. I can make a choice to not listen to this. I'm like, this is garbage, or this isn't for me, or whatever. You got to learn where to stay and where to walk away, where to block people and learn who supports you and who cares, and the ones that don't, and the ones whatever. If they don't, who cares? Move on. Go your way and handle your own personal business. I had to learn to start doing more of me. Why am I listening to this when I could be about my business? I could be about my grind and my hustle. So that's where I am in my life right now. Not worrying about others and worrying about me. First, you got to check in on you. First, I need to be good. And for a long time, I was not good. I was making other people good, focusing on my relatives and friends and job and money, all the things that's outside of me and inside, mentally, physically, spiritually. I wasn't in a good space. But I had to learn that. I'm the one that has to make the choice to have that and to be that. I have to make a choice to be good. I have to make a choice to cut people off. And I had to make a choice also to tell myself I deserve better. A lot of times in this life, we settle. Okay? Hey, friends with super channels. I had to learn that for myself. I had to learn that I settle way too much. And I had to stop that. Like, why are you settling when you deserve better than that? Why are you doing that for them? And you know they don't like you. I had to learn to be honest with me. I had to learn that. I had to learn to be honest with me first. See, a lot of times we'll fool ourselves. We'll be doing things that we know we don't want to do. We know we don't like them, or we know they don't like us. I'm like, what are you doing? I have to ask myself sometimes, what are you doing? Why are you over here? Why are you doing this? And you know you don't like them or they don't like you. You know how you feel. You know how you're treated. And so you pay attention to those things. Because I think that's so important. A lot of people never learn to show up as their real, true, and authentic self. Do you? Do you allow yourself to show up as your real, true, and authentic self? You should. Today's a good day to start. As my mentor always tells me, today is a good day to start. There's no day like the present. It's never too late. The only time where it's too late is when you're under the ground. So don't let it get to that point in your life where you know you're at the end and now you're like, man, I should have did X, Y, and Z. I should have forgiven. I should have went and did this. I should have did that. Even if sometimes we don't win at something, even if we don't succeed, but at least you know you tried. At least you know you give it an effort. So now you can't say, I wonder, what if? And I wonder if that would have worked. See, I no longer live that way anymore in the what ifs. If there's something I want to do, I'm going to try it. And if I fall flat on my face, I say, oh, well, at least I tried. See, I'm proud of me in that. And I thank my ancestors for giving me the strength to be able to stand up now and to say, whether I win or I lose, at least I know I tried. At least I tried. And I feel good in that. It's not always about winning, but it's about trying. It's trying, because you never know where something will hit. That could be your thing. But just because you doubted yourself or you gave into fear and you listened to weak-minded, controlling, and manipulative people, you don't get to your frequency that you need to be at, because you're listening to someone who is not doing anything with their life. We got to stop doing that, motivators family. We got to know our personal worth. We have to know what is working for us. Will that work for me? Is that good for me, or is that for them? You know, I had to learn the difference. We can be inspired by other people, but we don't have to be like them. Like, okay, that's very inspiring. Okay, I'm going to go over here and do my own thing. We can take what somebody else is doing and use it as fuel to inspire us, for it to be a fire under us. Man, that's very encouraging. Look at all the things they're going through and they're doing it. So I want to say that to anybody who's listening right now or in the replay. If there's something that you want to do with your life, you have today. You have today. Write it down, make a plan, and then do it. Then try it. Then go for it. But don't let these weak-minded people stop you from your goals. Stop you from winning. Stopping you from doing something you know you can succeed at. See, I learned a long time ago to stop letting other people tell me who I am. I had to stop letting people tell me who I was and what I could be, when I'm the one that has to define that. I know me. I know what I'm capable of. Don't let other people take you down a dark road or make you doubt yourself. Don't let yourself give into fear. See, sometimes when fear comes and it knocks at my door, I say, yeah, I'm afraid. I'm scared right now. But I'm going to walk through this door anyways, because I'm not alone, because I have supportive people, because I know myself and I love myself and I'm my own best friend and I'm courageous and I stand on the hands and the backs of my ancestors. Okay? See, when you know yourself and you know your worth, there's certain things that can't touch you. Don't let the past Don't let other people, don't let doubt, and don't let fear, and especially these weak-minded, unqualified people stop you from winning in your life. See, at the end of the day, it's our life. It's your life, and you have to make a choice to live yours. So the question has to be asked, are you living your life fully? Or do you have some regrets, or there's some things that, man, I wish I should have and would have done? Well, now here's your opportunity for you to make a list. What do I want to do? And then in the next category, how do I get to it? Because we have to do more than just saying I want to do things. We have to have an action plan. How am I going to get to it? What is it going to cost? And give yourself a timeline. I'm going to do this in a month, in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year. And then when you check it off, then you go on to the next. But go for your dreams, motivators. That's my encouragement for today's podcast. Go for your dreams and not let the unqualified and weak-minded people stop you from accomplishing them. Yes. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. And I thank you all so much for your support. Shout out to all my amazing moderators. Miss 702 says, yep, tired of pretending like I don't know who disliked me for no reason. Yeah, but it's jealousy. It's jealousy, it's anger, it's transfer of energy. It's because they can't control you. It's so many things, everybody. But we can't allow what other people are choosing to not do. They're choosing to ignore. They're choosing to be angry. They've made a choice to not heal and forgive. But that's them. Don't let that be you. Don't let yourself be blocked, be placed in a corner just because we're scared of something new. We're scared of following our dreams. We're scared of what will happen. We're scared because we don't have the perfect situation or whatever the case may be. It's never going to be perfect because we're not perfect. But we are qualified. We are powerful. We are mighty. But we're the ones that have to remind ourselves of that. Know your worth. Thank you so much, everybody, for tapping in and joining for today's topic and discussion. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Keep your head up and know your worth. And don't listen to these unqualified and weak-minded people. I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and this is your channel for motivation, inspiration, positivity, mindset shifting. I thank you so much. If you have not already, hit the like and do all of those YouTube things. Subscribe, join my channel membership, and for all the member-only perks. And shout out to all my amazing channel members and moderators. I couldn't do it without you all. Thank you for your support. Keep your head up, everybody. And you know what we say over here. Just know it. Just breathe it. And be it, and live your best life. Thank you so much, Realists, Friends with Super Channels, Miss 702, James, Leticia, Tamika, Jenny, PMC. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Nate, the Great Podcast. And anybody who's listening in the background or listening on the replay, thank you for your support. Keep your head up and live your best life. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday.